the biggest problem in your business isn't actually the problem. So you're likely working harder than ever to fix things. You're hiring, you're driving sales, you're trying to get organized with systems, but nothing is actually really changing. And likely you're still the bottleneck, and you're putting out fires, and you're working longer hours, and you have less time for your family. Maybe you're not even paying yourself appropriately. And I just want you to know that if this is you, you're not doing anything wrong. In fact, this is what almost all smart, capable business owners are doing. You're trying to solve problems that you can see. But when you're stuck in the day-to-day of your business, it's almost possible to identify what the real constraint is. And it feels like you're making progress, but you're not really getting ahead. And we see that all the time from business owners. And I just want to assure you that there's a different way to approach this. So instead of reacting to surface level problems, meaning putting out all those fires in the day-to-day, what we need to identify is the real constraint in your business. Where are you being the bottleneck still? What actually prevents you from being profitable? What is keeping you stuck in your computer or in your phone or in all of these tasks that never all get checked off? And what is really affecting your team's performance? Because the real problem usually isn't, I need a lot more revenue, I need better employees, I need more time for the job. Because once you solve the right problems, that's when your time gets freed up. That's when you can turn it off and go home to your family. That's when your team members step up and you can take a vacation. And that is exactly when your profit starts to grow with much less effort. Clarity is what changes everything. And this is why our clients are so successful in the Better Business, Better Life program, because we are looking at all of the foundational components that you need to set up and establish in your business. Likely you jumped into your business and went headfirst and never figured these things out and established them. And that's what we're here to help you do. So I am so excited to have Caitlin join me on the podcast today. Caitlin is our Connect team lead. So she helps us out with marketing, with sales. Most importantly, she is a strategist on our team. She's the how to hire the best strategist. So she supports us with her expertise in workforce development. Maybe I should have said most importantly, she's actually my daughter. So teaser there if you're new to the podcast and you haven't heard that. So Caitlin, welcome to the Profit by Design podcast. We are so thrilled to have you on today.
Thank you so much for having me. It is my pleasure. I enjoy all things marketing and sales, but my bread and butter, my jam, the thing that gets me the most energized at Tap the Potential is supporting our business owners and their team members with hiring and leadership development. So I'm excited for us to dive in to some of that and also some of the things that I'm seeing as I'm meeting with business owners day in and day out who experience a lot of the same challenges that we talk about on the podcast each week.
Okay, so let's start there. And we have a tool that can support you. And if you haven't taken it before, please go and take this assessment. So I want you to go over to tapthepotential.com/assessment. And this assessment is going to help you identify what is really holding you back in your business and what you need to work on. And the beauty of it is once you take that assessment, Caitlin will meet with you and she will help you understand what you actually need to be working on in your business. And Caitlin, can you just dig in here and share with everyone listening what you typically see? So when a business owner comes to you and they have a list of probably 3 to 12 things that they really need to work on their business, is the main thing that they need to work on really what they're thinking?
Short answer, 7 out of 10 times is no.
Wow.
I want to take us a step back and talk about what the tool is and then answer the question that you just asked. So the Better Business, Better Life assessment is a tool that has been honed and refined for over 20 years that Tap the Potential has been around. As you all know, Dr. Sabrina Starling is our funder. She's also the business psychologist. And she takes a deep dive and has years of data on what the 9 out of 10 business owners who are experiencing burnout, what are the things that are happening in their business that are leading you down that burnout? And so many people take this assessment to really understand what their own burnout is in relation, or health is in relation to their business. What you don't always get to see that we talk about with this assessment is we are asking you very specific questions about all of the systems that either are or are not in your business. And when we have a better understanding of the inner workings of what's working well in your business or where you seem to be stuck, that helps us identify what are the most important activities that will move the needle right now closer towards your goals. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people who get on my calendar, they'll name a challenge. We have one question inside of this assessment that asks you, what's your biggest challenge right now? What are you facing currently in your marketplace? And if you could solve this one problem and wave a magic wand, all would be well. What we find is that the root cause of why the business owner is experiencing said biggest challenge is far more than what they can see, right? So our businesses are our babies. Like, we build them and we grow them and we're passionate. And at some point it becomes wildly successful and we're wearing all the hats, we're doing all the things, and we're running on empty. And then we go home to our families and try to have full lives outside of work, and it can become so challenging. So we want you to imagine running on that hamster wheel for maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 5, maybe 10. And when you open your eyes and you realize how much the business has really cost you in terms of your sanity, in terms of your own mental health and well-being, in terms of the time that you have on this earth doing things, life and business-wise. What we tend to find is our business owners have blind spots, right? They have systems that they haven't had an opportunity to implement. And they may have people on their team who are ready to stretch and grow, but they have no idea how to delegate, no idea where to start. And because of all of the things that they've experienced with hiring PTSD, that's just one example of something that we really support business owners around. It can be challenging to trust people to delegate. So typically when you get on my calendar and we look at that assessment, you're there for one reason. And we're able to diagnose at a higher level, why are you experiencing this challenge? And what are some steps that we can take, that you can take, or that we can take together with the support of Tap the Potential to really help you turn things around and create more sustainability and profitability in your business.
Okay, so you are reminding me of what makes us unique. So our founder, Dr. Sabrina, the business psychologist, obviously brings in that background, and it's so cute. We always say, like, what would the doctor say?
Ask a doctor, I think is what we call it.
Ask the doctor, correct. And I mean, she just has so much experience working with business owners, just years and years and years of pulling this research and data and working with businesses and coaching them through. And I have a background corporate, running, managing businesses, owning my own business, and marketing expertise. And then Caitlin, you have the background in marketing and also workforce development. So we just have this trifecta, and that's why we bring, and also we're life coaches, right? So that's why we're bringing in this holistic approach. And if we're not looking at the whole person that you are, then it's going to be challenging to come in and figure out these things in your business, right? We need to know what works for you and what will help you be successful. So we're constantly innovating around that and figuring out what makes things simple and easy. And the first thing that will make things simple for you is you not having to figure out what the first thing you need to work on is. So that's what the gift of the assessment is. And that's why we offer it. Like this doesn't cost anything for you. You can get on and take the assessment. And Caitlin, I know that you love meeting with business owners and talking with them and just supporting them to determine what is it that you need to be focused on. And then as we do work together, if we do, then we build out that action plan. And I just tell you step by step, here's what to work on next. And this isn't like cookie cutter. So we build out the plan, but we pivot when necessary. Because the one thing that you need in your business is a strategic thinking partner. You need someone to say, here's what you need to do. Here's how you need to do it. I'm not emotionally attached to your team or to some of the things that are going on in your business. So I can hear you and read between the lines and come in and support and serve you in ways that you never thought possible. So really, we just love supporting people. And it comes down to having that life that you want. And that's just our mission, right? So I love that we're always looking for ways to free up more time for you and hold you accountable. And accountability is a really big thing in our program. And Caitlin, let's just dig. I want to see, like, what are some of the biggest outcomes of taking that assessment? What are some aha moments from business owners taking the assessment that you typically see? Because this isn't just a bunch of random questions pulled together. This is our collective expertise. Absolutely. Where we're really digging in, trying to figure out what's going on and what you need the most support in and where to move forward next. So what are those biggest aha moments when you get on a call with someone?
I think one person had shared with me, it's like I can exhale again.
Oh.
Like, I can come, I can ask a couple of questions, get a better understanding of what my blind spots might be that I'm not seeing, and hear more about evidence-based best practices that have been honed and refined for small to mid-sized businesses over 20 years through things like COVID-19 pandemic, through these ebbs and flows in the world as we know it. And when business owners meet with me, outside of feeling like they have some clarity around what are the actions or the activities or the things that I could be doing in my business to take that next step, it's also having someone who understands what it is that you're experiencing and whose mission it truly is to help you overcome those challenges. I think a lot of our clients would say that this is like therapy for your business, right? Yes. So when you meet with me, we do a couple of different things. It's not just the assessment, Melissa. It goes so much further than that. I'm looking at the assessment as almost like a barometer on the business. What are the effective systems that need to be put into place, which is the Tap the Potential solution. That's our proprietary coaching solution or framework that we use, but we fully customize it to your needs. So I'm looking at the assessment in the eyes of your business. I'm looking at our systems in the eyes of your business, not someone else's. And I'm giving you a roadmap of a few $10,000 an hour activities, those activities that make other things almost just absolve or unnecessary, right? We talk about 10K an hour activities all of the time in our chart. And we take that a step further because we do what is called a profit audit. And for those of you who might be familiar with Profit First from Mike Michalowicz, you have an understanding that this is a financial system that when put into your business, you're really able to sense whether or not it is a healthy, thriving, and sustainably profitable business. And I'm walking you through this profit audit to help you see where are you investing your time and your resources that are just leaking you profit.
Yeah.
And I'm reining that in and showing you based on what we've done over, well, what Dr. Sabrina truly has done over the last 20 years, you over the last 6 or 7 that you've been with the company. It's really having that understanding of what the 1 out of 10 business owners who are completely successful, sustainably profitable, taking consistent time off, what are they doing? And how can we bridge that gap? And what are some things I can do right now, yesterday, right? Like every business owner I meet is like, tell me what to do yesterday and I will do it. And then we also talk about other resources that will support you along their journey. So when I say people feel like they can exhale, it is because I'm taking a very specific angle at who you are, what your business is, what your unique differentiator is, and what are the gaps? What are ways that you can fill those gaps in the business so you can continue to grow it? Because like Dr. Sabrina says, you can only do that for so long alone. Then you need to hire a team. And if you don't have the foundational elements of the Tap the Potential solution in your business, we've seen what happens when those things aren't in place. And they get on my calendar and they want that pill or that Band-Aid fix. And I can't promise you that. But I can promise you that just like we put the velvet rope around our clients in the Better Business, Better Life program, that's what I'm doing with every single conversation that we have together. I really want to give value and support you the best that I can, regardless of the outcome. And if you join us in our group coaching program, which I highly recommend, because Melissa is going to take that a step further, do more assessments with you, and take the Tap the Potential solution and customize it specifically to your business and to you. So you have this life piece and this business piece. It's magical what can happen within those virtual walls. And my favorite part is seeing business owners light up again and see that there is hope at the end of a very, very long tunnel.
Yeah, it's hope. And it's helping you fulfill your dreams too, because so many times I see business owners come in and they have this dream for their business and what they think it's going to be. And then very quickly it becomes chasing dollars, chasing dollars to pay expenses, chasing dollars to pay payroll. And then you start taking on clients that you don't love and providing products or services that you don't love, everything that's outside of your niche or your sweet spot, as we call it. And the sweet spot is really where the thing that you do uniquely that your top clients want, and then you create those systems around that. That's where the intersection of the sweet spot of your business, and that's where the profitability lies. And that's when you really fall in love with your business again. So we take a look at all that, and really, I want you to connect to what your dream is. So why did you start this? Why did you venture off to start your own business? And how can we take a look at that, incorporate that, as well as give you some time off? Because it's a firm believer in time off. And anytime clients come to me, if you take that assessment and it comes out your burnout score is really high, I'm going to say take time off. And it sounds counterintuitive, but really it's the exact thing that you need to do for your own self, your mindset, your health. And that's how your business is going to become sustainable, because we need to see what the gaps are. And then we can create opportunities for systems for the gaps, for team members, what they need to be doing so that you can take that time off. Because let's face it, when you can step away from the business, you've got a sustainable business.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to ask right now, do you have a business, or are you creating a job for yourself? So if you cannot walk away today and take some time off and that business continue to run without you, I want you to ask yourself, is this sustainable? And if your answer is no, take that assessment. Maybe things are humming along and you think, oh yeah, I could take a week or two off, but there's still a few things to work on. Take the assessment. We want to see what the gaps are, what the bottlenecks are, and we want to support you in identifying what is actually holding you back. And what is it really? What is the real problem? So I want you to stop guessing. We want to help you solve the right problems. So, Caitlin, if anything is resonating here with our listeners, just tell us, what do we do next?
Two things. Okay. Head over to tapthepotential.com/assessment. Take our assessment. It'll take you about 10 to 12 minutes to answer questions. And again, this gives me an inside look into what's going on in the business so that we can carry on a discussion around insights that I'm seeing with your assessment and some evidence-based best practices, solutions, and systems that will help you turn things around in your business. Most business owners I meet with will tell me they are not burned out. What I've learned about our listeners is that they are go-getters. They are high achievers. They operate at a very high level. So once you take that assessment and we can deep dive into those insights, that will give us a better understanding of what your $10,000 an hour activities are. And that's what we can discuss when you book your call with me at tapthepotential.com. Once you take the assessment, you'll be prompted to get on my calendar. So go ahead and take that 50 minutes so that we can dive into what's coming up. And I can share what strengths your business might have, what weaknesses you might have, what blind spots you may be overlooking. And together we can find a way for you to start turning things around so that you can take your life back from your business.
All right. Thank you so much for being here today, Caitlin, and thank you for all of your support. We appreciate your time tuning into the Profit by Design podcast, and we hope something resonates with you, and we really hope that you'll take the assessment and just let us support you with the one thing that you can work on next. Do that at tapthepotential.com/assessment. We will see you next week on the Profit by Design podcast.